The Arizona Supreme Court's decision to let a Civil War-era ban on abortion services take effect is earning bipartisan condemnation. The Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs, President Biden, and former President Donald Trump all say they don't like it. The Grand Canyon State's High Court upheld an 1864 law that allows for abortions to save the life of the mother, but not in cases of rape or incest. Hobbs called on the state's legislature to repeal the ban during an appearance on CBS Mornings.
Arizonans across the state are reeling from this devastating decision that reinstates a near total ban, a ban that was passed in 1864, before Arizona was even a state, before women had the right to vote.
We begin with Elizabeth Campbell in Phoenix. Elizabeth, good to see you. You spoke with an abortion provider in the state about the ruling, as well as an attorney for an anti-abortion rights organization. What did they tell you?
Good to be with you, Ed. And fallout is right as people try to regroup and figure out where they're going to go from here. Now, it's important to emphasize that we do not yet know when this ruling will go into effect. There's at least 45 more days before that happens. I talked to one provider. They perform about 100 abortions a week, both by the pill and the procedure. Take a listen to the concern she has now that this has passed.
Increased maternal mortality, forced pregnancy, increased infant mortality, and just this despair and the devastation that people feel when they find out that they don't have bodily autonomy and they don't have the ability to access abortion. Forced pregnancy is real, and pregnancy is really hard on the body, and there's so many risks. It is riskier to go through an entire pregnancy than to have an abortion, and it will just have a devastating effect on the people of Arizona.
Now, that clinic does promise me that they will perform procedures up until the day that the law goes into effect. On the flip side, also keeping up that fight with a possible ballot measure coming down this fall is the law firm that took this case to the Supreme Court. Take a listen to what their lead lawyer had to say today as well.
Life is always worth protecting. Think about everything we've learned over the past 50 years. Unborn children start having a heartbeat at 6 weeks, fingers and toes at 8 weeks, and unique fingerprints at 10 weeks. A people does well when they elect officials that work vigorously to protect life from the moment of conception.
Now, as you said, this is the Grand Canyon State, and it's also a swing state, Ed. So this debate is not going anywhere come the fall.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Elizabeth, in Phoenix. Thank you for that. Thanks to those that you spoke with today. Now on to another battleground state. Shawna Mizelle is in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Biden campaign is holding events focused on abortion rights across the Tar Heel state. Shawna, you were there as two women affected by abortion bans campaigned for the president today. What did they have to say?
That's right, Ed. So they started out this morning in Durham. They went to Winston-Salem and they ended in Charlotte. They both spoke about their personal experiences in Louisiana and in Texas being impacted by the restrictive abortion bans that both states have. And they really shared that personal experience during roundtables with physicians, medical professionals, but as well as state lawmakers. And they're sending a similar message that we've seen from the Biden campaign, and that is laying the blame at the feet of former President Donald Trump for those restrictive abortion bans.
Now, the Biden campaign featured one of the two women in a new ad. What did she have to tell you?
Correct. Amanda. I spoke with her and I asked her why it was important for her to share her story and repeat it so often and even on large platforms like the Biden campaign ad. Here's what she had to say.
I think my greatest fear is that what happened to me will happen to other people. And if we don't re-elect President Biden and Vice President Harris in November, that will be the reality of this country. And it's really difficult to relive this over and over again. But there's nothing more important to me right now than this campaign and making sure that President Biden is re-elected.
Shawna Mizelle.
So that's Amanda from Texas, and she tells me that she has plans to continue what she's been doing, hitting the campaign trail. She'll be in Milwaukee next week. Ed?
Shawna Mizelle in Charlotte, thank you so much. This is what former President Donald Trump had to say about the controversial abortion ruling today while campaigning in Georgia.
Yeah, they did, and that'll be straightened out. And as you know, it's all about states' rights. That'll be straightened out. And I'm sure that the governor and everybody else are going to bring it back into reason, and that will be taken care of, I think, very quickly.
saying that it'll be straightened out. He was also asked whether he would sign a national abortion ban if he's elected president again, and if such a ban ever passes Congress. He shook his head in response and said no. We're joined now by Molly Ball and Deepa Shivaram. Molly is a senior political correspondent for the Wall Street Journal. Deepa is a White House correspondent for NPR. Good to see both of you this afternoon. I know both of you have been tracking this quite closely as well from a national political perspective. Talk about the Department of odd timing. The former president comes out with this abortion announcement earlier this week, seems to try to brush it off and say states will deal with this, and then Arizona goes and drops this huge ruling that now upends the politics of that battleground state.
Absolutely. This is now the most restrictive abortion law in any of the swing states. And it goes all the way back to the 19th century. I think that it was a big surprise to a lot of people, including in Arizona, that the Supreme Court made this decision and reactivated this very old law. And it does really underscore, I think the Biden campaign couldn't have asked for a better confluence of events to underscore the message that they're trying to send, which is not only the side that he's on this important issue, but putting it on the top of voters' minds. We have seen in a lot of polls that this is really the only top issue on which the president is trusted over Donald Trump. And when voters are asked what's the most important issue, they tend to say immigration, they say the economy, they say a lot of other things. And those are issues where Trump does better. This is the issue that the Biden campaign hopes will decide the election because it is an issue where voters take his side. And in Arizona, the fact that it's likely to be on the ballot this November makes it that much more of what Democrats hope will be a driver of turnout in their favor.
If anything, that's what brings people to the polls, and then they'll conceivably vote for the president. Yeah. Now, Deepa, as someone tracking the Biden campaign, talk about how they're recalibrating now in the wake of this decision, especially in Arizona.
I mean, almost immediately you saw the vice president's team, Kamala Harris, who has been the lead spokesperson on this issue for the administration, immediately announced that she's headed to Tucson later this week. She'll be there on Friday. That really utilizes that kind of shoot out of the cannon effort that she usually does with these very hot button issues, abortion included. And she'll be on the ground. She'll be rallying with voters. This is exactly the kind of momentum that they're hoping to carry into November. And not only did that happen this week, but as you see Trump's announcements playing out and whether or not he'll, sign a national abortion ban, things like that, the Biden campaign is very much trying to remind reporters and also remind voters right now, Trump is someone who has toggled a lot on this issue. And even though he's saying something right now, look back at everything else he's done when it comes to this issue and really trying to keep that top of mind, like you said.
Both of you and this reporter have been around these campaigns long enough to observe in the last few days, at least I did, that they seemed to anticipate this quite well, the Biden campaign. Between last week, when there was that ad they released with the woman in Texas in response to President Trump saying that he was going to go down this road and introduce this decision, to then anticipating this Arizona ruling. The vice president had pre-taped a bunch of things that they released on social media, immediately announced that they're going to Tucson. They seem to be ready for this one in ways that we don't always see, especially national campaigns, ready to react quickly to something.
Well, what I'm hearing from Democratic sources is that the ads that they are, of course, producing on this issue are among the best testing ads in their arsenal. And they're very effective because, as we know, this is an election that a lot of voters are not excited about.
Right.
These are two candidates that a lot of voters are not excited about. And so it is incumbent on the campaigns to remind them of the stakes, remind them of the policies that are at stake and the potential consequences of your vote. So I think we can expect both campaigns to be hammering on the policy stakes of that election, of this election. And for the Biden campaign, that is going to mean, as we've heard repeatedly from them, democracy and Dobbs. They see those as the winning issues, and they are, of course, prepared to hammer them home. So when these new developments reinforce their message, and unfortunately for former President Trump, there are going to continue to be new developments. This is the meaning. When he said this is up to the states, this is federalism, this is states' rights, this is what that means. It means states are constantly going to making these kinds of moves. We're going to constantly be seeing new cases reminding people of the unsettled abortion regime when it comes to policy. And there's going to continue to be ways to remind voters of the importance of this issue.
And keep in mind, this is an issue that has been a winning issue for Democrats ever since the Dobbs decision came out. I mean, Democrats, Biden, Harris, they have that on their side, right? They've seen in states across the country, and even conservative states, right, where voters have come out and said, no, we want to protect abortion rights. So it kind of helps in that regard to have all of this stock piled up. Like you said, they're ready to go because they've seen it work in the past several months and years.
And although I would quibble with that just a little bit to say the abortion has been a winning issue for abortion. It hasn't necessarily been a winning issue for Democrats. We have yet to see a Republican gubernatorial or Senate candidate lose because of the abortion issue, or at all since Roe was overturned. And
you mean an incumbent?
Exactly.
Okay, because Daniel Cameron, of course, struggled in the gubernatorial race in Kentucky.
We have seen it be an issue in some races. But we have not seen it defeat incumbents, and we have never seen it play in a presidential race. This is the first presidential race since the overturning of Roe. And so I think Deepa's right. It certainly has a lot of potential for Democrats, but we don't yet know how it's going to interact with the presidential when so much else is on voters' minds.
And when we have so much time to go, because it is just April. But certainly this week's zig is to the benefit of the Democrats. We'll see where the zags are going forward. Molly Ball, Deepa Shivaram, so great to have both of you here. Thank you, because you both know what you're talking about, and that's helpful.